I'm comparing an almost $500 pair of Truman Boot Company boots to a $150 pair of Urban Wolf Club boots, and I'm telling you right now, there's not that much of a difference. Have I lost my mind? Possibly. Now, thank you so much for watching this video. And I'm going to start off by letting you know that I absolutely think the Truman boots are worth their price. I know comparing a $500 boot to a $150 boot, you're going to think that I don't think these are worth it. I do. I believe that everything that goes into Truman boots makes them worth that price tag. I think they're awesome boots. But it does make me think about the Urban Wolf Club boots and what you get for that insanely low price. Now, this is the best value boot that I have found, period. I am still searching for other value brands. That's kind of my thing on YouTube. But as of right now, as of January 2025, this is the best value boot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through these boots component by component to prove to you why I think these actually compare amazingly. And then I'll sum it up with what you're really getting in each boot and why it is worth more to buy the Truman boots in the long run. Let's turn the camera around and we'll do a deep dive into both of these boots. All right, I'm always trying to evolve the way I shoot in this small space that I have for a studio right now, so sorry if there's any awkward angles, but let's start off by looking at the sole of this boot. Now, with the Truman boots, you're getting their Eugene regrind sole. Actually, this is not the regrind. The regrind's the one that has like a recycled. This is just their standard sole. And with the Urban Wolf Club, you're getting just a standard sole. So I'm not sure where this is made. Likely, this is made in Leon, Mexico, where this boot is made. So that is something we'll talk about where it's made in a bit. But when it comes to the soles, they actually are very similar. There's not like enough about these soles to make one way better or one, less desirable. I actually think these soles and heels are very comparable. To the feel, the Truman boot maybe is a little bit better. There's just a lot more we know about Truman boots and their soles. They've been around for a long time, and there's a lot of guys who have reviewed these, and they're having a lot of success with their soles. And one thing I like to shout someone out, there is a great newish YouTuber called the Nitty Professor, and it's a lady, and she's done a lot of good reviews on Truman Boots. She's a fan of Truman Boots, so please subscribe to her. Tell her that Yushu sent you. She's a great YouTube personality. She's got a lot of different opinions about heritage wear. She's got an amazing collection, so she's done a lot of videos on Truman. So please check her out. But she's kind of shown how this has worn over time, and it's great. I tried to beat this up because I thought it was going to be a terrible sole, and it actually is a really good sole. So I've been super happy with this, super happy with the heel. So again, it's pretty close. That's, we're starting off. We're close. We got hundreds of dollars between us, but we're close. Okay, sorry. I was trying to be dramatic. Then next we go to the heel stack of the boots. This is, two pieces of edge tan leather. This is two pieces of edge tan leather. Maybe it's finished a little bit nicer, but again, this is shockingly comparable. I think these boots, when you look at the heel stacks, it's almost the same type of leather. Now, I'm not sure where they're sourcing their veg tan leather from. I know it's hard to source from America, but wherever they're getting it from, it might even be the same leather. So you're getting an amazing veg tan leather heel stack with both of these boots. Then to go up from there, we have the insole. So the Truman boot's a 270-degree bolted boot. This is a 360-degree. So we're not going to talk too much about the difference with that because Truman has its own welt. They have more. With the Urban Wolf Club, you have less options, but that midsole is what's important. The midsole on a boot is an important part, and I've learned a lot about this in the last couple of months. I'm going to make a dedicated video on it, but the Truman boot has a thicker midsole so it can handle a little bit more weight, a bigger guy or gal, while the Urban Wolf Club has a veg tan leather insole or midsole, but it's just a little bit thinner. So this will be a little bit better for a lighter weight person or someone who, wants a little bit more feel underfoot. But again, they both have veg tan leather midsoles, which is a huge selling feature. Most guys love that. The midsole doesn't need to be replaced when you do a resole, so it's just going to continue to break into your foot. Then when we go to the welt, welts are hard, but Truman does an amazing job on their welts. This is a factory second welt, so that's why it's sanded close there. But normally they're really good welts, and they can be resoled without changing the welt. With my one pair of Urban Wolf Club, it's the same thing. It's an amazing welt, and they sand it really well. They sand it pretty wide and thick so that it can be resold time and time again. So when it comes to the welt, they're pretty comparable. So what I'm seeing right now from both of these boots is that the sole, the midsole, the welt, and the heel stack are very comparable, with most things just a little bit better with the Truman. Heel stack, not so much, but everything is just a little bit better with the Truman. So again, it is a higher quality, but the Urban Wolf Club is just giving you so much value for that price. Now let's talk about, before we kind of jump into what's inside of the boots, let's talk about the leather. Here is another big main difference. So if you are a leather aficionado, you'll love Truman boots. They have amazing leathers. They have different stocks of leathers coming in and out. They've got some really sweet, unique leather. The Coach Rambler leather, like on my first Truman boot, super unique. CS Dead leather. This is a reverse chamois leather from Horween. Name brand leathers, high-end leathers, unique leathers, fun leathers. It's all about the leathers with this company. And matter when you go to the Urban Wolf Club, you're getting kind of a no-name leather. I think the leather's tanned at the Lafarque tannery in Leon, Mexico, but it's just a nice leather. The other leathers look good. They have more of a nubuck style. They do have some shinier, like full grain style leathers too, but they don't compete. The leathers of Urban Wolf Club, it does not compete with the Truman boot. That's just how it is. These are fine. They're great. They work really well. But I mean, this is like a leather snob boot. This is just a newbie into the leather game boot. So if that makes any sense, please, I'm sorry for my explanations. It's sometimes I have kindergarten-like explanations, but that's because I just roll with it. No script. We just have fun, right? We're having fun. Next, we go to inside of the boot. We have a leather liner. And in this boot, in Truman boot, it's different for each boot that you get. So that just depends on what you're going to get. But this is just the reverse, or this is the actual, the grain side of the chamois leather. And so it's not lined in the quarters, but it is lined in the vamp. The Urban Wolf Club has a problem with their liners. It rubs off a little bit on your sock. That's something to note. Never had any problem with Truman boot. But then inside of the boot, you're getting a thick veg tan lasting board insole. I actually think the veg tan lasting board and insole is a little bit thicker on the Urban Wolf Club boots, but it's still a really good veg tan lasting board insole on the Truman boots. That might, it's a little bit more refined. It's a little bit rougher cut on the Urban Wolf Club, hence the price difference. But that's the most important part of a heritage boot for most guys. So that is going to be something you're going to want to have, that nice veg tan leather insole. Both of these have it. They both are super comfortable once they're broken in, because they also have a cork filler that is wedged between that leather insole and the leather midsole. Then on top of that, with the Truman boots, you just have another piece of leather as like a full sock liner. So a Truman boots is going to be a little bit harder to break in. It's just full leather throughout. While the Urban Wolf Club comes with a sock liner that has some foam underneath. And now I took that out and I break it in with just the leather insole. But if you size these wrong, you might need that foam insert. And that's just something some guys love, some guys hate. I prefer just breaking in a bunch of leather, and then it's going to be super comfortable for many years to come, but that's going to be what you prefer. This is normally with Truman, I go a full size down. So if it was a structured toe with Truman, I would get a 12. I'm a 13D on the Brannock. With Urban Wolf Club, I've got a 12. It was a little tight. I took that insole out. Perfect now. But do their recommendations, go half a size for each of these boots. That's just my spiel about sizing real quick. Then we have to the counter. So the counter, I don't know how thick it is, but the Urban Wolf Club has a thick veg tan counter, and it's a really good counter because it's not too thick. It breaks in quick. It breaks into the ankle quick, and it's not too thin to where it feels like it's going to collapse over time. Where the Truman has a much beefier veg tan counter, and it's encased in the leather, so you can't see the veg tan counter here. With the Trumans, you can see it. It is exposed. It's stitched in. I do think it's a little bit better to do it the way Truman Boots has done it, with having it concealed inside of the boots, and that makes it just a little bit nicer. And hardware is just a little bit better with the Truman. That's just one thing. I'm not a huge hardware guy, but this is more like a Wolverine hardware for like a speed hook, and the Truman is a little bit beefier. So that's my opinion on the Truman versus the Urban Wolf Club. Now let me explain why I do think Truman is worth it, and the Urban Wolf Club, we know that's worth it. All right, let's talk about these boots. So with Truman, you're getting American-made boot with American-made leather, with every component being a little bit better. That's the easy summary of why it is worth that price. Truman boots are worth the $500 price tag that Vince is currently putting on these boots. The other thing, it does have a good return policy. Now, depending on Vince's mood that day, you may have to pay a $30 restocking fee. You may not. I've heard people go both ways with that. So it's just a little bit nicer that you have that, and losing $30 is a bummer, but at least you do have a return policy. On the flip side, with Urban Wolf Club, you don't have a return policy really, but you're only paying $150 for the boot in general, and that's what makes it just an amazing value. It's not a $500 boot. It's not even a $400 boot. It's not even a $300 boot, but it's definitely 250 to 275, and you're paying $150. And what's absolutely amazing about this brand is that you can do customizations. You can pick different leathers that they have in stock. You can pick different finishes of the welt, different hardware configurations, all sorts of cool stuff you can pick. Now, it's not fully customizable, but you can talk to the owner on social media and he'll make you a custom boot. At Truman, you have their MTOs, which is great, and you can kind of do the same, and it's a little bit more professional. So that's my opinion. I love Truman. Truman, right now, or in January of 2025, or in 2025, the beginning of 2025, is a great boot. They may change what they're doing, but it's still an awesome boot. And the Urban Wolf Club is my hands down pick for best value. So no matter which one you buy, I don't think you'll be disappointed. You're just getting everything's going to be a little bit better with the Truman boot. So thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate all the time you guys spend with me with these boot reviews. I have a great time doing this. I didn't know if I was going to do this permanently, but I think I am. I'm just having too much fun. I'm having a lot of fun interacting with you guys and gals. Please check out the Nitty Professor. She's a great YouTuber. Please give her support, give her a follow, give her a like. She deserves it. She's got a lot of good content, and the more people following these different boot YouTubers, the more they're going to be able to create content for us. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. We'll see you on the next one.